strain is written on every face. When it's one against one, there is no place to hide. It's a matter of doing what has to be done. At the end, though, there can only be one winner.
What a match!
But along the way, even in defeat, there are the victorious. Those who have forced their opponents to play at their best. Together, they produce contests that will live forever. Not only in the record books, but in the memories. These are the great showdowns of the Australian Open, spanning the last 30 years, where the greatest rivalries in world tennis came to a head, and the world was captivated. When great rivals played each other, the effects of their matches swept beyond the court, to grandstands, pubs, living rooms, offices, anywhere where tennis followers could state and stake their opinions. And the players themselves could have their say. Few players provoked more discussions than Chris Evert-Lloyd, Martina Navratilova. Although it's said that sport and politics should never mix, Evert and Navratilova had all the ingredients to make bold headlines. One, an American representing a country that prided itself on free enterprise. The other, an incredible talent from behind the Iron Curtain in the then Czechoslovakia.
I think the great thing about our rivalry was the contrast. We were so different. You know, I was American, she was Czech. She was emotional, I was, you know, very poker-faced. She was serving volley, I was baseline. I mean, everything about us was different. But at the end of the day, you know, we felt sort of a kinship and a camaraderie. And even after the match was over, you know, we were close.
Navratilova, a national champion when just 15, had determination to match her talents. It was only a matter of time before she pushed the Iron Curtain aside and demanded a spotlight on centre stage. And what better a person to do it against than Evert?
Love 30.
Incredibly, they met in 13 Grand Slam finals. Navratilova won 10 of them. Melbourne hosted 3 epic encounters. Navratilova won their first battle down under in 1981.
She's just a great player, and she put a lot of pressure on me with that serve volley. She's very aggressive. And if I'm going to lose to anybody, it might as well be her.
They met again the following year in another 3-setter, but this time Evert won.
Oh, that'll be the match-winning shot, I think. What a tip. Great point for the championship. That's it. Chris has done it.
All I can say is I'm really thrilled to have won this tournament because I've wanted it so badly for so many years. I've been in 2 disappointing finals, so I just like to tell you all how thrilled I am to have won it.
I'm hoping that we'll have some more great matches. Today I think, I don't know if it exceeded expectations, but I'm sure that we at least satisfied the expectations. I think we always have great matches and enjoy playing for all of you. Thank you for coming here.
They played their third and final Australian Open in 1985. Just like the other two encounters, it was a gripping three-setter. Navratilova took the honours, but both players shared the memories of a truly great rivalry.
Because of her, it wasn't good enough to only be a great tennis player. You had to be a great athlete. So she just changed completely the whole sport. And I remember watching her cross-train. I remember watching her weight train and play basketball and ski, and I marveled at it. And it really gave me motivation to be the best athlete that I could become and the best tennis player. She pushed me.
And neither could forget the path laid by another player who defeated both of them in finals at the Australian Open.
Oh, yes.
Australia's Yvonne Corley, who in particular relished her battles with Evert.
She was probably one of the toughest competitors that I've come across. And I always enjoyed playing Chris because I knew that she wouldn't complain about line calls, would just get on with it, and because she knew I wouldn't either. So she was one player that I said, I can get out there and just play.
More than a decade after Corley won her last Australian singles crown, another name was carving itself into tennis folklore. "18-year-old Steffi Graf became everyone's rival in 1988 when she won all Grand Slam events, starting with victory in Melbourne against a player well used to standing at the other end to brilliance, Chris Evert.
Extraordinary power from the back of the court. As you were saying, break point.
Graf was a sensation, winning the next two Australian Opens.
Game, set, and match, draw.
Just as it seemed her dominance of women's tennis would be unchallenged for some time to come, along came a hard-hitting Yugoslavian teenager, Monica Seles. They won 3 each of the Grand Slam finals they played against each other. In the 1993 Australian Open, officials had the decider they wanted when Seles, by then #1 in the world, faced Graf, the #2. Seles won in 3 sets, and in doing so copied Graf's Melbourne three-peat. But she wouldn't be alone. In the late 90s, it was 3 times lucky for another. Who would rise to challenge Martina Hingis? The the Swiss sensation named after Martina Navratilova. When just a girl, she moved to Switzerland with her mother. The snow-capped mountains a world away from Melbourne, where in 2001, her bid for 4 Australian titles in 5 years was upset by American Jennifer Capriati.
Serving for the set, 5-1. Beautiful volley from just inside the service line.
In 2002, they returned in simmering heat. Their battle underlined that sport isn't just about winning and losing on the field of play, but it reflects lives in which the hardest of feats are determined by points. And there was no better proof of this than Capriati. A child prodigy, she'd experienced troubled times as a teenager. But in the midst of a brilliant Melbourne summer, there was no hint of her dark past.
Capriati may have won the point.
Martina, you're a great champion, and even though I've won the last 2 times, I mean, it's going to take a while to get to your status too. Being here already 6 times in the finals, and you know, it's just a tremendous effort, and I really don't know how I won today. The
very next year, sibling rivalry stole the attention of the tennis world.
So we'll wait and see whether they go at it or whether they smile a lot when they miss shots.
For those who had followed the path of these two sisters, it seemed only yesterday they were shy, giggling girls enjoying their childhoods. But Venus and Serena Williams weren't ordinary children. Soon after they had rackets in their hands, they wanted the world at their feet.
I like other people to be like me.
That's a good answer.
Melbourne was firmly in the centre of their world at the 2003 Australian Open final.
One for 5 on break points. Well, they both know one another so well.
She's really on the stretch there. Short ball here for Venus. Overhead, never eventuating it. Didn't really get up high in the air, that lob. Gritted teeth.
Yeah.
It was Serena's day. At just 21, 15 months younger than Venus, she secured her 5th Grand Slam title.
And that's it.
Serena Williams. 7-6, 3-6, 6-4.
Great round of applause for two fantastic players on the tour and what they've done for women's tennis. Serena taking the spotlight, sister stepping back.
I wish I could have been the winner today, but of course you have a great champion, Serena, and now she's won, you know, all 4 Grand Slams, which is something I would love to do one day. So yeah, just trying to be just like her. And what else can I say? Love you, Mom. And all my sisters, Lindrea, Yatundi, Isha, there's Serena. And I never get choked up, but never. But I'm really emotional right now. I'm really, really, really happy. And I'd like to thank my mom and my dad for always supporting me. Thanks.